just quarters, oh I got a pocket full of bankrolls. Foreigns after foreigns, how my game roll. I just finesse niggas out they hundos. I just call a lick at the...
This is the plaintiff, Farah Jacques. She says she loaned the defendant some money so he could start up a t-shirt business, and he started to pay her back, but then abruptly stopped. Turns out he tried to get romantic with her. She let him know in no uncertain terms that she wasn't interested, and that's when he stopped paying her back. She's suing for the remaining balance of the loan, plus interest, and that comes out to $1,000. This is the defendant, Chris Knotti. He says he was paying the plaintiff back in installments and everything was fine until she said she was strapped for cash and demanded he pay off the loan in full. Then she went around defaming him, trying to ruin his business. And if you ask him, they're more than even. He's accused of not letting the ink dry on a partnership.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
We had a date where she was supposed to be paid.
What's that date?
We had another argument.
What's that date?
I can't remember the date.
Is it before today?
It was before the day that she put...
Is it before today?
Yes, before today.
Did it happen?
No, I'm in court.
Exactly.
You filed court papers against me. What am I going to do, pay you and then come to court? I'm going to come to court.
People's Court next case. On the docket, the plaintiff loaned the defendant money to start a t-shirt business, but she says he got all romantic on her and then stiffed her. But the defendant says she just became cash poor and unreasonable.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Jacques, you are suing Mr. Knotti. You've asked to be referred to as Knotti. Okay, for $1,000 that you say he owes you on you're calling it a loan that you made to him, and he has not repaid. Tell me what's going on.
I'd rather call it an investment. Well,
Change your mind, did you? Okay, so go
no,
ahead.
it was more of an investment.
Okay.
We were friends. We did music together initially. What does that
mean,
how we
you
met.
did music together?
He's an artist as well, and I'm an artist.
Singers?
I sing. He raps.
Okay.
That we initially started from doing music. So then spending time, I realized he had a business. He printed out shirts. So I believed in his product. However, he was not able to mass produce the products. So I offered to invest in it with hopes on a return back with profit.
Okay, and what was the agreement that you guys had?
The initial agreement was $500 doubled. So then when I gave him the $500, we went to a print lab.
Did he actually guarantee to you that he would pay back $1,000?
I have it on text.
Okay.
I have it on text.
Let me see it. Did you tell her if you invest $500, you'll see $1,000 by a certain date?
Well, Your Honor, it's more than just the investment of the $500. It's a business. She was agreed to make certain moves with me. You know, she drives a vehicle. Right now, my license is suspended. I'm not driving a vehicle. So to be in the business, she had to do certain things, too. It wasn't just like, give me $500 and I give you $1,000. Like, nobody does business like that.
Okay,
you know?
well, unless you really need 500. But
not
all right,
really.
So what did you tell her? You give me 500 and then you have to what?
And certain support. You were supposed to be there at the pop-up shop, you know, as a host with me. She was supposed to drive me to certain, to get shirts, pick up shirts, get the shirts pressed, you know, do normal business moves with me.
And then
you know,
when would
like
she
she
get
said,
the
it was an
1,000?
investment, not a loan. A loan, she would have gave me and I'd give her money back. An investment.
When would she get the 1,000 then?
After the pop-up shop.
Was there one pop-up shop?
Yeah, it was one pop-up shop. This was all for one event. It wasn't like an investment into my business. It was for one event.
For one event?
Yeah.
All right, and so what happened? She didn't do any of that? Or
she gave the $500. Initially, she did do a few moves with me. I'm not going to lie to you.
Wait, how many moves were there? I thought you said it was one.
There are a lot of moves.
My question is, what was the... Okay, but I can't be married to you for 100 years. Like, what was the agreement of what she had to do to... I'm not even finished. To deserve the 1,000. What was the agreement? There had to be a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Drive me to get the shirts made. You know, a company to get the shirts made. That happened. No, that didn't happen. We went, but there were problems with the company that we went to, which she knows too. There were problems on that day. She was supposed to be at the pop-up shop to help me host.
And did she do that?
No, she didn't do that.
Okay.
She didn't do that. And just day-to-day things, bagging the product, you know, everything that we had to do. She just wasn't there for the whole...
What was she there for?
$500 in the first initial meeting when we went to meet the people that were going to press the shirts.
Okay, and then what happened?
That was it.
What was her reason for not showing up to all these other things that you said?
Well, you'd have to ask that To her,
Well,
yeah.
what did she say to you? I will ask her. What did she say to you was her reason?
I didn't contact her for a little while. I wasn't in contact with her the whole time.
Well, then how was she going to know when to show up?
Oh, she knows that because we had flyers. She knows the date of the show. That was well promoted.
Okay.
We had flyers.
What was it that went wrong? You were helping him, right?
I was helping him initially.
Right.
But what happened was he had somebody that he used to do business with before. He used to design for the young man, and the young man used to print the shirts. The first day we go to print the shirts, I realized he doesn't know how to print shirts. So it's just so happened.
The guy.
No, him.
Me.
Okay, well, what did you mean by he doesn't know how to print shirts?
He told me he had somewhere he was going to go to print the shirts up. So now we're there with the shirts to print them up for the pop-up shop. I realized when we get there, he's never printed a shirt. So coincidentally, we run into a young lady that prints shirts. So then he turns around and asks me, oh, Farrah, can I borrow an extra $150 so I can get somebody to print the shirts? So now I'm like, this is odd.
I'm sorry, weren't you guys there to have the shirts printed?
We were there to have the shirts printed because he told me he could print the shirts himself.
You were taking him where?
I took him to the print lab. So
And
he
then
could have the shirts designed.
It's a self-serve print lab?
Exactly. And when I got there, I realized he never printed a shirt before. Because now he's looking around asking for advice. And then we just happened to bump to a young lady that knew how to do the shirts. Then he turns around and asks me for another $150 so we can pay her. So
And what made you think beforehand that
Because he told me he could. Had I known he never did a shirt, I would have never invested.
Was this a self-serve print lab?
Yeah, it was. At the point, I had got to the point, I went to a few print labs, like a few people to do the shirts, and I was bumping into a lot of, I was bumping into walls with people that couldn't do the job. So there was a print lab where you can go do it yourself.
But you didn't know how to do it?
No, I didn't know how to do it, but I went there, but my business is not going to suffer. It's not going to fail. Something's going to happen.
Why did you have to ask her for another $150? When do you put money in?
Because, I put money from the beginning. Your Honor, $500 could not pull off what I did. It couldn't pull off a shot.
Wait, you didn't have anything yet. Wait, did you have something?
I did.
You had the idea, but did you have shirts?
I had more than the idea. Shirts were already being produced. Like she said,
what did you need the $500 for?
For the pop-up shop. The pop-up shop was becoming, it was more money. It's all
so you're at the self-serve print lab, and you needed another $150 in order to have somebody kind of do it for you who's also at the self-serve print lab.
Yeah, but she was
and you didn't have the $150?
No, I didn't have it at that day.
Okay, so he asked you for it, and what do you do?
I give him the $150.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, she did.
All right, and then did the shirts get made?
25 of the shirts got made. 25 of the shirts got made. So then that's
$650?
No, you see, you're adding everything together. That 150 was not with the 500.
Were you there to print just 25 shirts?
No, we were there to print 600.
No, we were there to print more.
So why only 25 were printed?
The person that I hired couldn't print all of them. It's just like for the day.
A time issue?
Yeah, at a time issue, yeah. We just popped up on them today, and we couldn't do them. And they said they could do it.
It's a hell of a business. I don't see how you make a profit. So what happened then? Were you supposed to come to the pop-up site?
I was supposed to come. However, he was irate. He was angry. So I decided, you know what? Just for the sake of the shirts to sell, without drama, I not show up.
The two of you decided that?
No, he showed up. He was there.
But the two of you decided that you shouldn't show up?
No, I decided I wouldn't show up.
How am I supposed to factor that in when that was part of your job?
We never agreed that I had to be at the pop-up shop. That was never an agreement. That was never.
Do you have anything in writing, either text or otherwise, that would indicate what your agreement was?
No.
But
I see a lot of texts where you're telling her, look, you say and do things in a way I'm not comfortable with.
Facts.
I don't think I should have taken your money for this venture. I really just want to flip this and give you your money. So what money did you give her?
Fact. I gave her $200 back on the $500.
That was when did you do that?
I don't know the specific date.
So how do you figure that's all you got to do? Because you haven't paid her anything else?
Listen,
yeah, I'm listening. I just don't hear anything that makes sense.
He teed her off. Will she get $1,000? Milian rules next. Business. Men or women?
Definitely men. Men are evil creatures.
Men or women? Who's shadier?
Men.
Why so?
Because I feel like they can hide more things easily than women.
What, just they got experience hiding things?
They're just more shady.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
So tell me how you figure that all you got to do is pay $200.
After the $200 was paid, there were other dates where we aligned that we were going to pay the rest of the money. I met up with her one day. We got into an argument again over gas. All these initial...
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm reading your text, and here's what your texts say. I have $600 for you still. I gave you the 50. I promised a double up flip, so that's $1,200 that I owe you. I wanted to give you $300 just now. Our vibe is just clashing. You're a good person.
1,200, 1,000, different.
Well, yeah, that's you talking, not her. So what I'm asking you is...
I would have to see it and make sure it's coming from my phone.
Oh, well, yeah, let's go. You see it.
Yeah, bring it to me, please.
Here you go.
You should call his phone from my phone. Maybe you don't
No,
need
you can do that.
He knows what he wrote.
Okay.
Is that you?
Yeah, it's me.
All right. So when you told her you were going to pay the $1,200, why didn't you?
This woman has problems.
And why were you saying $1,200? Because she had invested how much? 600?
It became $650 once he got the additional $150 at the print lab.
Yeah, but how much was it originally?
Originally it was $500, and then the $150 the day of the print lab.
Okay, is there a dispute about that, or is that correct?
The $150 that she got is different, and she got paid that back. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's what I want to know.
That wasn't supposed to be
just tell me this. The original amount was how much?
$500.
Okay, and then you got from her at that lab $150.
Right.
But according to you, you paid her back how much?
I paid her back $200.
Did you pay her anything besides the $200?
No.
And you acknowledge that you were paid $200,
yes,
correct?
I do.
All right. So what you're suing for is a total of $1,000 because originally that was the deal that he in fact was going to pay you $1,000 when?
He was going to pay me $1,000 after the pop-up shop.
What date was the pop-up shop?
The 11th of June.
So if in June you're texting her, telling her that you're going to pay her, but that you don't think that you should have anything to do with each other because you've got to, you just don't relate well, how is she failing to show up at things she was supposed to show up at? That's what your texts say.
After that, Your Honor, we reconciled. That, you have to understand, these are series, it's off and on with Farrah, it's off and on. After that, we reconciled.
But you're already telling her, I don't want you to show up at anything else. We don't
because she's acting crazy.
I don't
she's
care
calling
why
my
you
phone.
said it. That you have a right to say it. You don't want her vibe around you. That's great. But then you don't have a right to say, and I'm not going to pay her because she didn't come to what I told her she wasn't invited to.
Who said I'm not going to pay her? We had a date.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's kind of why I'm here, because you haven't paid her.
All right. We had a date where she was supposed to be paid.
What's that date?
We had another argument.
What's that date?
I can't remember the date.
Is it before today?
It was before the day that she put.
Is it before today?
Yes, before today.
Did it happen?
No, I'm in court.
Exactly.
You filed court papers against me. What am I going to do? Pay you and then come to court? I'm going to come to court.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. If they know they're wrong, that's what they do. They just go ahead and pay the person.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to come to court. No problem.
Okay. Well, we wasted both. We have wasted enough of both of our times. So since you've just basically explained to me that you are 100% wrong and that you were supposed to pay her, but because she sued you, you decided, what am I going to do? Pay her? And even though your text says, do not show up for anything else, okay, I am ordering you to pay the plaintiff the $1,000 that she's suing for. Verdicts for the plaintiff.
What's a ban to me, Your Honor?
All right, hold
ZOED.
on right there, please. So pay-up day has finally arrived.
Pay-up day's arrived, no problem.
Step over here a little bit. The judge had this thing right then.
I don't know if she had it right, but the judge is the law, and the law said this has to be paid, and it's going to be paid. No problem. What's a ban to me,
Well, you could have paid it before and avoided the whole thing.
Yeah, I could have, but, we're here, so we deal with it.
All right.
Deal with it today.
Okay, very good. All right. Around the corner this way, please, and sign your documents on the way out, all right? You had to come to court to get your money. Are you satisfied now?
I am very satisfied. I'm very satisfied, and if I never see this man a day again, it's too soon.
Well, you're the one who picked him out to loan him money.
I sure did, and I believed he was a friend at the time. But things went sour. Now I got my money, so we're even.
Well, why did this thing go sour? What happened?
He's an emotional wreck. This man is completely emotional. This is a business. You need to learn how to separate business from feelings.
Is there anything more? What feelings are you talking about?
We'll just leave it in the air.
Oh.
We'll leave it in the air.
Those feelings.
Those feelings.
Harvey? If you owe money or whatever to somebody and they're asking for more than you say is reasonable or agreed upon, pay them what you agreed to, and then at least you're showing good faith to the judge if it ends up there.
I just caught her, so I got a pocket full of bankrolls. Foreigns after foreigns, how my game roll. I just finesse niggas out they hundos. I just caught a lick at the bando. I just caught her, so I got a pocket full of bankrolls. Foreigns after foreigns, how my game roll. I just finesse niggas out they hundos.